Alright, and we're back. First things first, I'm the realist. No. First things first, I was looking back at my last couple of videos and I realized when it gets to be nighttime, like 2 a.m., it gets a little hard to see. Not so much here because we're in front of Akanon, but when I go out here, it just gets to be a little dark. Ooh, these fracks. Let's see what level. 12, nice. Ooh, that's a spell level. It's a pretty good one for mages, if I remember. Anyway, getting distracted. So I want to increase the gamma a little bit, make it less hard to see. I don't want to increase it too much. And I'll probably lower it again. Sound effects. Probably lower it again when it gets to be daytime. Just making sure I'm recording here. Yep, okay, great. Okay, next thing. What is going on here? I have chloroplast, I have spirit of wolf, I have skin like nature. This is all unnatural. Some very kind soul cast these spells on me. And I appreciate that. It's the thought that counts, but as I've said, this playthrough for me is going to be... Well, first, before I click it off, look how much it gives me. 330 hit points. Watch what that goes down to. Boom. Oh. Boom. 80. Yeah, that was giving me a lot of hit points. It also took off my own crappy little buff. And this I won't accept either, because I want this playthrough to be au natural. I will keep Spirit of Wolf on. And actually, Spirit of Wolf was... I can't remember if it was the same druid that cast that spell on me, those spells. I got Spirit of Wolf for the first time earlier from a very kind traveling troll shaman. Nice! That should sell pretty well. Not as good as a cracked staff, unfortunately, but... Hey, another one. Cool. Alright, so, yeah, I appreciate... Like, I'll use this for speed of movement. I'm actually about to go run pretty far away. Spoiler alert. But I want to go through this playthrough without as many, you know, like, only buffs from people that I'm grouped with or that would be in my level range, things like that. Or that I cast on my own. I will keep Spirit of Wolf on. Oh my gosh, another one. For those that don't know Spirit of Wolf, oh man, this could encumber me. Because these things are like 16 pounds each. 14. 59 out of 65. Wow. Spirit of Wolf makes you run faster, which is great if you're about to run... Oh! Speaking of trolls, that one is not a friendly one. Yeah, that's an NPC that is related to a spell or a quest. I'm getting distracted. That really shocked me seeing that. I knew that there was a troll that wandered around here. I think there's a male one as well. Well, I may be thinking of Butcher Block, where there's ogres that wander. Anyway, I'm going to run really far because, as you can tell, I'm close to level. The reason why I was running where I was going to was I figured I would go through level 4, which I also figured would be a tough level for me. Either in that area to the right of Akanon that I showed last, or a couple of videos ago, wherever it was, or to the first area to the left. And what I ended up exploring to was over here, these windmills. And this... Back on the server that I played on back in the day, Tunar, however you say it. I'm going to say Tunar, because I already pronounce things in ways that people don't like. So Tunar is probably right. I played on the Tunar server. This was like a camp that people knew. It's called Windmills, and for obvious reasons, you got these giant windmills. I think you never saw windmills again in this game until Plane of Tranquility. Anyway, I'm really getting off track. Oh, someone earlier was killing these. It's very traumatizing to watch my fellow gnomes being slayed. Oh, and this guy too. This guy was killing near me earlier, out here. This is where I kill. This guy was a mage. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sure it's like one of those things that says something if you say it the right way. I was killing and he was here and like, I think he was my level. He was level 4, but his pet was yellow to me because he's a mage. And I was like, damn, that guy's indestructible. But then I kept seeing him die. I was like, oh, maybe not so indestructible. But his pet was tearing stuff up. I obviously cannot do these. I did find out that these large spiders, while even, which is great, they cast poison spells on me. Now I wonder, I actually don't want to ding, and I hope this doesn't ding me. Maybe I should be really careful here. I don't want to ding yet, because I kind of want the leveling up to be at the end of each video, and I'm just starting recording this video, even though I'm almost at the end XP-wise. There's also a watchman guard that walks around here who... Their heart is in the right place. It's the thought that counts, just like the guy that cast Skin Like Nature on me. But the guard killed a mob that was even to me, that was a really tough fight. And I didn't get any of the experience, and it was really rude. I didn't appreciate it. I've also died over here a few times. Maybe not as many as iFuzznuzzle or whatever his name is over there. But I died a couple times. Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't ding. Oh, I was going to sell those halberds because they're really weighing me down. I keep getting distracted. Anyway, I wanted... This may well be my last time in this zone. And although that Kobold Scout is yellow, there were some earlier that were even, and I killed them. And I killed the large spiders, and I even found a coyote over here. Oh, there's an even one. Oh, I could probably ding off that one, but I'm not going to do it because I have a plan in mind. I'm going to run to Kaladin. Spoiler alert. And I'll explain why in a minute. Damn, I keep getting distracted. Oh yeah, because this could be my last time in this zone, like to level and to play on my own. Oh, that's not 3 gold. That's not bad. I wanted to try somewhere new, so I figured, hey, I might as well try the windmills, and it actually ended up being awesome. Like, this has been better than I could have thought, because there's so many of these even cons that I can pull. All the pumas are red. Oh, the giant rats are the other ones that are even. So I got the giant rats, the large spiders, the kobold scouts. Yeah, but here's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, this could very well be the last level where I'm just like fighting on my own, soloing, swinging my little club. Oh, I really want to get a lantern, because that's the other thing. Oh, it's starting to be day, so let me lower the camera again. It's funny because like a lot of, like, if you've just watched the first couple videos and you didn't know anything else about EverQuest or P99, you'd be like, hey, is this the game? Like, you just run around and kill rats and spiders? Like, that's really boring. And I don't blame you for thinking that, but actually it's funny because if you go back, I went back once and I looked at early... Why is that guy apprehensive? I thought he was indifferent to me earlier. I hope I didn't take a faction hit. Anyway, some of the early reviews of the original EverQuest were really critical of the game, and they were calling it like Rat Hunter 3D and things like that, because they were like, that's the game. You just run around and kill rats and spiders, and obviously that's not the case. If anyone has played this game past level 5 or so, you go places and do cool stuff and kill gods and dragons and things like that. You could watch my lore video for an idea of what this game has the potential to be. But anyway, so here's where I'm going from Akanon. That's Akanon straight that way. I am going to go straight ahead this way, which I have not been yet on this character, / on this video walkthrough, using my Spirit of Wolf. And I'm doing this all for a reason. Oh, and by the way, there's reviewers that were saying like the game is just Rat Hunter 3D. I totally get why, because if you think about the role of a reviewer, especially in 1999, where you get a game and you have like 5-6 hours with it. Like, think about 1999. Like, Final Fantasy VIII came out that year. Funny story about Final Fantasy VIII. I'm actually playing through it right now. I bought a PlayStation on eBay because I didn't have my old PlayStation, and I bought Final Fantasy VIII, a memory card, a controller. All of it cost under $100 to combined. It wasn't all a package. Actually, each one of those items is from a different seller. But I'm playing through that right now separately. I actually thought about trying to record it, but it's on my TV, and I don't really know how. Like, I'm using the original PS1. I'm sure it's possible, but anyway. Reviewers back then, and even now to some extent, they were given like a day or two with the game. I mean, you're not going to, like, if you're really generous, you'll play through a game. This shouldn't ding me. If you're really generous, you'll play through a whole game. Like, I don't know, the reviewers back then probably played through most of, if not all, of Final Fantasy VIII before they wrote a review for it. But like a game like EverQuest, which you're talking hundreds of hours to get to level 50. You're not going to write a review based on that. You're going to play the game for like 12 to 48 hours and be like, all right, so the game is you basically run around, you kill dogs and spiders and rats, and that's the game. It's like, well, that doesn't really tell the whole story. But this is the Steamfont, which I always thought should be front, but it's Steamfont. That's another one of those things, kind of like the gnomes being able to see through walls, where I feel like it's probably a bug, but they're like, just leave it. This is the gnome starting area. I may be back to do a little bit of soloing with minotaurs or even skeletons later on, but for now, I'm leaving. I've only been in 2 zones this entire walkthrough so far, Akanon and Steamfont Mountains. And now, I'm saying goodbye. I'm saying goodbye. Oh, come on. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's my strategy. I'm going to run to Caledon. I may be killed on sight there. If I am, I will figure that out before I get there because there's guards in Butcherblock. And I'm still working on these, that 6-pack of apple ciders I picked up last week. I don't really love them, but I'm trying to be fall-ish. I feel like I'm running slower. The reason why I'm doing it now instead of level 5, 2 reasons. One, if I run all the way there, and let's say I'm dubious, and this is Lesser Fate Arc, it's a very dangerous zone, that's why I'm going to hug the wall the whole way. There's things in here, there's horrors in this zone that I cannot even describe. Unicorns and brownies, and it just gets weird. I'm better off sticking to the wall. This is what I would call a higher level zone. There are some lower level mobs, but level 4 is not the target level for this zone. Let's just say I'm dubious or apprehensive to the guards outside of Caledon, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I can turn in all these bone chips. And then I get inside and I find out, oh, a dark elf. We haven't seen one of those yet. I mean, this one's dead, but... Ooh, he doesn't have long. It's so funny when you just see random people. Alright, I keep getting distracted. Let me just finish my thought here. Now I'm about to zone into Greater Fate Arc. I'm worried that by the time I find out I'm KOS to the Cleric Guild in Caledon, I'll be like right up on it. Actually, it's the Paladin Guild that the Bone Chip quest is at. So I'm kind of concerned that I'll die there unexpectedly and I'll have to run back and get my corpse. If that's the case, a barbarian. Gosh, look at him sitting down. He's taller than me. This guy looks like a guy that I met my very first time playing this game. Bark shield. Bark, bark. It's more like this bark. I'm worried that I'll die in Caledon to some NPC that sees me through a wall and kills me. And if I'm level 5, I will lose experience. So if I'm level 4 and I die, so either way I'll have to run back, right? The way I figure it is, if I'm level 4 and I die, I still have that unfortunate run back, but I don't lose any experience. If I'm level 5 and I die, my experience could drop all the way down to like here. Again, not a huge deal, but it's just the kind of little thing that you think about in this game. First, before I go any further, I'm going to find out if I'm killed on sight to High Elves before I go to Caledon, because I'm really curious about that. The guard should be right over here. This is Felwith. Look at it. Looks really cool. What do the guards think of me, a Gnome Bertoxo's follower? Apprehensive! Not bad. Okay. Maybe I could even use that Cleric Guild. Okay, just wanted to check that. I'm not going to go in that city for now. I will go at some point. There's some good music in there. There's some cool lore things to look at in there. That was a pretty well-designed city. In fact, I would say that's one of the better designed cities. It's better designed than Akanon. You could tell they really thought that a lot of players were going to choose High Elf by the way that zone is designed. It's called Felwith. Now, there's a city in this zone. Oh, 2 spots open at Orkill. That's what I want to do when I hit level 5. Because I'll have my fancy new heal and my new buffs. And I'll be more valuable to a group than my crappy little minor heal. Oh, it's another dark elf. And a wood elf. Explodey. That's a great name for a wizard. Here comes the boom. He's got some good stuff. He's got that smirky face, the fancy boy face. Oh, a little bit of a butt chin there, though. It's okay. I got a butt chin, too. All right. So these spires and the music that accompanies them, they all have a purpose, which I will talk about later. When I think about those spires, oh, he said hi. When I think about the spires and that music, I think about North Corona. Actually, North Corona has a different music, but that's the zone that scared the hell out of me as a kid when I played this game. Make sure I'm not KOS to these. No, apprehensive. Man, gnomes are just like neutral to everything, which even if I'm not killed on sight to the cleric guild, I am worried that they won't accept my bone chips. But there's only one way to find out. I'm running through here because I know all these zones like the back of my hand. It's like riding a damn bike. But if you were a new player, you'd be like, how does he know where to go? Where's he going? How's he? Well, I mean, I am just following the path, but the path has branched off in different ways. I love these paths that are all windy, but they ultimately are like a straight line, but they make it seem like, oh, it's got to go this and then this. And it's got to snake around here and here and here. So this zone that I'm in right now, Greater Fate Arc, probably has quite a few players in it. Yeah, it does. Chilling Gaze, that's a cool guild name. Nostalgia, that's a great guild name. This zone is for the Wood Elves and High Elves to come of age in. It's sort of their Steamfont Mountains, where they are level 1 and they XP, and actually it's a better newbie zone, once again, than Steamfont. I think they knew a lot of players were going to pick the Elf class race. I don't think we saw any High Elves there. We did see a few Wood Elves. High Elves look like Wood Elves, just taller and paler, basically. And they're more int focused. Well, actually, they're int and wisdom. But yeah, the Wood Elf City is in that zone, which I will explore later. Assuming I'm not killed on sight, which I don't think I will be. Ooh, dwarf skeleton. Not a gnome skeleton, a dwarf skeleton. Oh, these would be good to kill, because I hope it doesn't ding me. It should be level 1. It'll give me faction with the dwarves. This zone is the... Oh, and the Greater Fate Arc, the Wood Elves, that's their home city. There is a city in that zone. It's up in the trees. Please don't ding me. Good. Ooh. Nice. So I got faction with dwarves. Oh no, Guardians of the Veil is halflings. Not going to mess with that because I feel like I'm really close to dinging. Stormguard is dwarves. Storm Reapers? I don't know. That might be dwarves. It might be something else. Amiably? What? The hell's the odds of that? Post Nut? What a name. So there's all these like random NPCs. Oh, that scared me. Okay, amiably? Really? You never know if any of them are going to be killed on sight, especially when you have a deity like I do, which is Bertoxilus. Like, that's considered an evil god, although it's kind of a neutral. It's somewhere between evil and neutral. Probably more evil than Ralos, but less evil than Anuric and Kazakh. That's a high elf right there. That's what they look like. Pale, tall, thin, kind of boring looking. Not as cool as this. I mean, look at that little booty running around. Back muscles too, not bad. Again, I have this zone memorized. So the Wood Elves have their city in an outdoor zone, which is the only class or race that can say that. Apprehensive, okay. That's what I think most of Caledon would be like. This zone, Butcher Block, this is like the Steamfont Mountains, the newbie zone for dwarves instead of like gnomes. There's a guy in here. See, I'm really worried that some of these are going to be either dubious or threatening. But so far, I seem to be okay. I wonder if... So there's so many things that go into faction. Like, what makes up your faction? Apprehensive. There's so many things that go into it, like your race, your class, your deity. Those are the main ones. In fact, race and deity are the main two. And that's like your base faction. And then there's everything you do in the game. Like, you can raise your faction. Like, if I killed 1 million of those goblins, those dwarf guards like hauled in there probably wouldn't be apprehensive. They'd be like much higher than that because I did something. But without doing anything in this game, you still have a base faction based off of your race and your deity. But I'm wondering about class, because when I saw those dwarves that conned me as amiably, that struck me as really odd, because there's no dwarf can be Bretoxilus. They can only be Brel, Ralos, and Bristlebane, maybe Agnostic, I don't know. But, oh, that scared me. Boy, the Barbarian's hometown is really far away. Anyway. I can see the gnomes and the dwarves being like naturally amiably just from a racial perspective. And then the cleric aspect as well, like dwarves love clerics. But then my deity, I would think, brings it down. But maybe my class is bringing it up enough that I'm not killed on sight to any dwarves. It'll be interesting to see. So this is the dwarf city. It's huge. I featured it in my Coldane video, which I'm shamelessly plugging again. It's a great video, at least so the comments tell me. I mean, look at that. Come on. That's so cool. Caladim is spread across 2 different zones. Rest must tip to cover taxes. That's cool. Mental militia. I hope the Spirit Wolf holds up. Okay, so I'm going into the Dwarf City. There is a quest in the Dwarf City at the Paladin Guild for bone chips. And it's a great quest. Like, a lot of new players and low-level players do it because it's so good for like experience, and it's good for faction for the dwarves as well. And you even get some armor out of it. You get like some leather armor. Okay, so far so good. That's a bard. Let's check the warrior guild. Warrior. I think that's a warrior. Oh, I know where there's one. That guy. That's a warrior. Apprehensive. Okay, that's a good sign. Now, I don't know what the requirement to do the bone chip quest is. I have obviously a ton of bone chips. Oh, I could use like 2 more. But anyway, I mean, I'll have enough to level for sure if they take them. Now, every quest in this game has a minimum faction that you need to complete the quest. And that minimum faction varies from quest to quest. For this one, I might need to be indifferent or amiable to do it, in which case they won't take my bone chips. Or they'll take them. Oh, this is the Rogue Guild. Amiably. Why? Why would they be amiably to me? I don't get that. It's possible, like I've thought all along, that I don't have the faction. And if I don't have the faction, there's really no way that I can think of to get the faction. Because like killing those goblins didn't raise my faction with... Didn't raise my faction with anything but the guards here. Unless that storm... Okay, this is the Cleric Guild. Priestess Galia is apprehensive. That's a good sign. I wonder if she will. She'll train me. Wow, that really surprises me. I figured you need at least indifferent. Get a little swimming going there. Okay, so the paladins are arguably the most devout, either them or the clerics. They might have the biggest problem with me being Bretoxilus, because Bretoxilus is evil. Brel isn't... Oh, it's a player. 5. Brel... So these are all merchants. You never have to worry about a merchant being held on site. The worst they'll be is dubious. Brel isn't really like a good god per se, but... He's somewhere between neutral and good. Kind of like Bretoxilus is probably between evil and neutral. Okay, looks like I'm apprehensive. This guy looks cool. That's cool. That armor looks really cool. This right here is the bone chip guy. Let's see what he says. I have the courage to battle the undead. Okay, he says he wants 4 bone chips from me, so I'm going to give it to him. Oops. And let's see if he accepts them. If he accepts them, That would be huge. Because it's going to give me a lot of experience if he accepts them. Oh! He takes them! That is awesome. Look how much it got me into that level. Okay, there's a lot to do here. There is a lot to do here. I might actually split this up into 2 videos. I'll start the level 5 video here.